All right, so in today's video, what I'd like for you to do is stop listening. Stop listening to the naysayers. Stop listening to the people who say you're just not going to be able to retire, and start building a real retirement plan that is customized for you. So one of the first things I hear is, I need $5 to $10 million in my portfolio. Yeah, wish I had $5 to $10 million, but that's not reality for me. The second one is, I'm not going to depend on any Social Security in my planning because I just don't believe it's going to be there when I get ready to retire. Now, that can be a problem, and it can make you work much longer, which goes into number three. Number three is, I'm going to just work till I die. I can't retire until I'm at least 70. So that's one that I hear quite a bit. And the last one is, I don't invest my money. I just stick it in a mattress or in the bank. That doesn't work with today's economics too much because of inflation. So let's take a look at these four and see what we can do to build a decent retirement plan. All right, so after working for 24 years in a refinery with 450 workers, and all of us made good money. We had a pension plan, we had a 401k, and a good match. So retirement was the topic of many discussions out at work. So the first one, I need $5 to $10 million. Well, depending on how you set yourself up, you may need that much. But if, like most of us, you try to lower your spending as you're going into retirement by paying off your mortgage, paying off, your loans, maybe, dialing back a little bit on helping out with adult children, things like that, and lower your spending, because I'm going to tell you right now, $5 million year one using the 4% rule is going to yield you $200,000 a year. And if you're having to depend on making $200,000 a year in retirement, then your expenses are actually pretty high. Now, if you want to target that because you want to live in Europe or you want to move to a different location, that's fine. Go ahead and plan on having 5 to 10 million. It just didn't work out for me. But what I'm saying, it's like that commercial back years ago when they said, "What's your number?" And this guy's toting around a godzillion dollars. Okay, build a good retirement plan that is realistic for what you're going to spend in retirement. Okay, and the second one is, I'm not going to plan on any Social Security in my retirement plan. That could be a big mistake, because if you don't plan on Social Security, it could have you working much, much, much longer, and maybe that's the reason you feel like you need $5 million in your portfolio. If you don't plan on retirement as a viable income, it's really going to be devastating to your plan. So I just did a video on this, and it'll be linked in the end screen about why I think Social Security will be okay, because there are levers to pull, there's knobs to turn. Right now they're debating on whether they should, lower the primary insurance account limit and raise the full retirement age from 67 to 69, or whether they should go ahead and raise taxes on the employers and the employees like they did back in 1983. They did both those things. And I think that's what it's going to take again this time, is a bipartisan effort for them to quit kicking the can down the road and get this funding in place so in 2034, the Social Security trust isn't depleted. So anyway, go ahead and watch that video, and I think it might open your eyes a little bit. And the third being, I'm going to work until I die, or I'm going to work until I'm 70. Well, here's the problem with that. If you set up a retirement plan to work until you're 70, guess what? You may not have that option. 50% of Americans who retire are forced into retirement, either by the company and because of their age, or health reasons. So it's not up to you as to when you're going to retire, because life happens. So what I suggest is build a retirement plan based on retiring as early as you think you can. You know, I retired at 61. My plan was actually to retire at 59 and a half, and it didn't quite work out. I ended up working a little longer. Yeah, those dreaded words, work one more year. I fell into that trap, which wasn't much of a trap. It actually worked out pretty good for us. We were able to pay off some more bills and get our spending down and take less out of our portfolio until we do take Social Security. So for us, it was a smart move. But what I'm saying is, I planned to retire at 59 and a half. If I'd had to work till I was 65 or 67, at least I have a fighting chance of making it, because if I were forced out early, if I were forced out at 60 or 61 because of health issues, my portfolio still would have withstood that, because that's what my plan was. All right, and the last one, number 4, is sticking your money in a mattress or just putting it in a savings account. Now, the problem with that is, say you're 30 years old and you come into a windfall and you get $600,000 and you stick it in a mattress. Well, when you go to retire 30 or 40 years later, the buying power of that $600,000 has been eaten away. I'm not saying it's zero. I mean, it'll always be worth something, but it's been eaten away because of inflation. It's not just enough to save your money. You got to invest your money to keep up with inflation. And really, there are different ways to do that. You can do it through real estate. You can do it through a stock market portfolio. You know, the easiest way is the 401k, because most employers have a matching amount, and that's just free money. I was very lucky. Our employer matched 7%. So if I put 7% of my income in, I was saving 14. Social Security, you know, you have to put 6.5% in, but your employer kicks in another 6.5%. So there's a lot of money that can be going into your retirement, that with a minimal amount of your money, you know, you can take advantage of that. So if the match is 3%, make sure you're putting 3% of your earnings into your 401k so you get that company match. Don't leave that money laying on the table. A lot of people do. They actually at work, I think this was about 3 years ago, they figured out that 28% of the people working in a refinery, you know, most of them making $40+ an hour, were not contributing 7% and getting all that match. That's just crazy to me. So anyway, I hope you're having a great day, and watch this video next.